Hi everyone, my name is Albert Tan from Download Silo. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day everybody. Here we comes again to have another session of this Facebook Live. And today we are going to talk about business hangout. So before we start, I would like to offer my apologies for yesterday's what they call a failed Facebook Live session, So we have tried using this restream to go live, and this is the first time we fail to deliver this Facebook live.
Yeah.
So
So
when I checked with them, the restream support team, they told me that it is because of their servers outage in Asia. So we decided to postpone it today so that everybody will have more time to prepare. So without further ado, I would like to say what they call one more time apologies so that we will make it up for today. So before we actually start, let me do some housekeeping. Please follow this link to show your name as well as a photo when you comment in this be live Facebook live session. So okay, so I have seen some guy here, Joginda Salma, Cleven Cho, and one Facebook user. I'm not sure whose name is that. So you have to give permission to see your, I mean, for this be live to see your name as well as your comment. Okay, just click this link, be live/group dash comments so that you can actually show your name as well as photo, and we can see you in the backend. Okay, good. I think we have some guys already here, about 9 people, if I'm not wrong. And we would like to start it right away. You don't have to waste any time. So today we have actually invited co-founder of this business hangout. His name is Henry Kraus, and he's based in Chicago. And Henry, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you? Thank you so much for having me again. So I get double the exposure in the group. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. I mean, there is something unexpected, So I have done many Facebook Live, and this is one of these very few times that we feel they deliver. But of course,
Yeah. Well.
we can always do it again, So here we come. So
Exactly.
before we actually start, I would like to ask you some interesting question. So the most important thing question is to build trust among the audience. Is actually they want to know how is your company doing and why do you want to start this what they call the webinar business, and also why do you want to launch this business hangout in AppSumo?
Yeah, absolutely. So, so our first, I gave a little bit of the backstory yesterday, but it should cover it again for everyone who's just tuning in here. But so our first company that we started in the video conferencing space was Jet Webinar. We did that about 6 years ago, and then 4 years ago we did an LTD for that product, and we actually got fantastic response. We had a amazing community, gave us a lot of feedback. So we took all of the feedback and the roadmap items that they wanted, applied it to this new product, and then which was Jet Webinar. And then we actually acquired another company, which was Business Hangouts. And Business Hangouts, the technology was very outdated. It was built in, I believe, 2012, something like that. So we actually invested a lot of money into removing the Business Hangout old software, replacing it with this software, which is what we invested for like the Jet Webinar product. So now what we really wanted to do for like the AppSumo community was add a lot more exposure to like the new product and build a great customer base and build more feedback around it, because we're also going to be doing a more involvement into that product as well. And for us just to kind of go and again work with the community, learn a little bit more about what you guys are really trying to accomplish, help with the exposure on that side, and really just kind of give it a deal where where I think it's a really unbeatable deal between, you've got the, meeting, live webinar, and automated webinar capabilities into all there. So
Okay. So, I mean, one of the questions that, very frequently asked by this audience are actually, the background of your team, how good are they and how many of them are actually in the team development? Can
yeah,
you
yeah,
tell us
absolutely.
more?
Absolutely. So when we first started, I was it was my partner and I, Brandon. So Brandon's the CEO, technical founder, and I was doing more of the marketing and sales and things like that. And then we've actually evolved into a team of 17, and from there, a lot of it consisted of development, QA testing, operations, customer acquisition, and so now we've really evolved and grown the team on that side. And so we have talent from all over the world, growing and helping on the product, and that was part of the major investment in the last couple of years, was just building up a very solid team to really just focus on building the best product that we possibly can.
Okay. So, I mean, we know that, you have quite a solid team of 17 people. I mean, that is actually very good because a lot of startup, they start out with 1 or 2 person, or maybe grow to 5 or 10, So seldom we see about 20 people in the group, in a company like you. So we hope that, you will be able to do better, improve on the products, and give the LTD buyers a better deal, so to say. So one more thing that because there are many what they call past LTDs, in this webinar software. For example, live webinar. The other one is a big marker. So, would you mind tell us how are you going to compete with them? They are actually also earlier adopter than you, but they come earlier than you in this AppSumo.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, if you're talking, about having, when you're talking about doing more of like live events, automated events, and meetings, one of the big things that helped us actually, bootstrap up the company was through revenues, right? So what we would do is we would bring on really like premier clients, and we would help them either manage their events or help drive traffic to their events. And that's kind of why, and now that we're working in that area, and we're also fundraising. We're currently fundraising for our seed round right now. Which we're raising $1 million, or about 30% of the way through on that. And the big differentiator that we really saw in the market is that the video conferencing solutions, there's a lot of meeting solutions and live webinar solutions and automated webinar solutions, and they've really tried to commoditize that. And as we've been working really closely with our customers, our free users, and things like that, who turn in free trials, and then they turn into customers. The most common question and the most common problem, are the two most common questions and the two most common problems that they're trying to solve, is how do I get more people to my events, and how do I get those people to become excited and raving customers, right? And so and that's kind of the evolvement of where our product is going, is that we're really focusing on eliminating the process of, before you go live, right, or before you do your events, you have to spend a lot of money on marketing. You've got to get Facebook ads, you've got to get Facebook groups, and you've got to do a lot of work to get people to your events. So what we're trying to do is really eliminate that process where you can go live and we can bring the audience to you. And so that is the direction that we're really moving towards. And then once you have that audience, adding more ways for people to do business with you. So we're going to be adding a checkout option in the webinar room, so you can actually purchase something directly in the room. We can have more ways. Right now we do paid events where you can charge people to go to your events. We have a lot of different ways of generating revenue and and monetizing through there. So that's a couple different ways that we're really approaching the market to be different than all these other platforms.
Yeah, I think I mean, in the world of this present moment, monetization is actually important, and I can see that in what they call this live meeting software. I mean, not webinar software. For example, Melon, Be Live, they actually try to do something that they can monetize it
Right.
when you go live. This is something very good, for e-commerce people who actually go live with their products.
Yeah.
So you can do that successfully. That would be very good, because during webinar, I mean, there are a lot of people actually trying to sell something at the end, maybe a course or product or something like that. So it is something that we are looking forward to that. So I think we should actually go into the back end of your system and to show us in more detail how to achieve that.
Yeah, absolutely. So here, let me share my screen. I've got two screens, so if I'm looking at two different places, excuse me for a second. Here we go.
Okay, I will just hide my face and maybe.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, great. So it looks like everyone can hear and see me still. If so, give me the thumbs up. Okay, great. So this is the back end of Business Hangouts. So essentially, what we wanted to do when we updated, when we invested a lot into improving the product as much as possible. Again, the whole idea was really around how to add more people to your events, how to get them to work with you, and how do we actually provide the right data for you to make decisions on your future events so you can improve every single time, right? And so that's kind of why we wanted to add the heat map in here. So on the dashboard, what you have here is your registration heat map. So this will give you, the overall stats for all of your events. We also have a dashboard for each individual event. But before I kind of get into that, so if I'm hosting 5 live webinars and 5 automated webinars in the last 10 days, this will give me all the data for all those 10 webinars. If we go into all events, it will give us the individual data for each individual webinar. And what this tells me is how many people registered at what specific day and time, because this will actually give me a better indication of when I should be promoting events in the future, right? Because like here you saw, I started promoting on Saturday and then on Friday, Thursday, and then Wednesday, right? And what we notice is that Saturdays don't look as great. Fridays don't look as great, but Thursday morning looks like a good time. Wednesday and Thursday morning look like a good time, and then Wednesday afternoon also looks like a great time. So next time I would go do a live or do an event and promote it, I would work off these numbers to improve my registrations for the future. On the bottom, if you see attendance. So attendance is actually showing you when do people actually attend your event. So so they register, they sign up, but how many of those people actually attend those events? And then this will give you a create a simple meeting where when I just create a link, and then after I create that link, anyone can join it, right? So I'm going to show you the live and the automated process is almost exactly the same. So I'm just going to go through and show you that. The meeting is a very straightforward process, but I'll just kind of show you what all that looks like. So if I go to all events here. Okay, so in all events here, I go to like this demo here. This was like a live webinar that I did, and then in the live webinar, so now we have the option to so in here I have the option to do basically all of the customizations for your entire webinar front to back. So we have the general settings where this is like the Business Hangouts demo. We can charge people. So you see, once I click on this paid option, you have a paid option event pop up here. You could determine if you're going to do a live webinar, a series, a simulated live, or an instant replay. So like a live webinar, you just simply choose the day and time you want to host the event. If I were to do like a simulated live, then I could run it once. I can run it every 15 minutes. I can run it hourly. I could run it where it runs at the same time on the same day every single week. Or if I wanted to add a range, where if I only wanted it to run for 1 month at a time, then we could actually add a date range where it begins and ends on that side. So I'll go back to the live, but I just kind of wanted to show you what that looks like on there. And then from there, we have automated email campaigns. So you got the hkraus at businesshangouts.com domain. So we've got confirmation, reminder, follow-up, did not attend, and early abandoned emails. And what's really cool about our emails is that if I wanted to go through and let's say I wanted to add another email here, you see that we have templates. So we can actually do, we have confirmation, reminder, email templates. So let's say if I just clicked on this, so this will actually automatically pull the webinar name. This will localize to your registrants and your attendees local information. So for example, if I were to host an event at 10 o'clock in the morning Chicago time, and someone in Australia is looking at this message, they don't have to do the math of what's the difference between Australian and Chicago time zone, right? This will actually show up in their localized Australian time zone for them. This will also provide a custom link for their event, and so that will actually include all the information that you need whenever you're sending an email out from there. From there, if you want to add presenters, so if you want to have multiple people actually present alongside with you while you're doing a live webinar, all you need to do is click on Add Presenter. You can go through this process here. You can choose their role. So a presenter is someone who's going to be speaking alongside with you. And so they're going to have their camera on, they're going to be chatting, they're going to be going back and forth and talking to the audience. An organizer is someone who's going to be kind of in the background. Their camera's not going to be on, but they can definitely respond to chats. So I can go through, I can save that, right? And so now this will actually automatically email me my webinar URL. So I can make changes 5 minutes before the event on any of these, and the URL isn't going to change. Some people lose track, our presenters lose track of it, so you can share this link with them. You could resend them the invite. You can do all that directly in here. On the registration page, we've got the registration page function where you've got the headline, subheadline, the registration page video. You can add speakers. You could add multiple speakers in here if you want. So like this is an example of like the registration page. I didn't do any page builder, right? I just kind of went in there. I uploaded my logo. I got all I put in all my information in here, and so you can see I was able to do that in the registration side. So on the registration side, I just put all the content. I put the information that I want to collect. I can say if it's GDPR compliant or not. From there, thank you page. We have our done for you thank you page already set up. If you want to have your own, you can do that as well. In the actual event room, you can do a global chat or moderated chat. So global chat is when one person sends a message, everyone's able to see it. Moderated chat is when one person sends a message, the organizers or the hosts are able to view it, respond, and go back and forth and chat that way. On here, we can have a call to actions for when the event is finished. So we would have a call to action here. This is the Usp of Business Hangouts deal. After if people registered and then they click on the link but they've missed it, then we can redirect them to a different call to action here. We can show a message, bring them to a replay page, things like that. And then we could add our logo in the event room as well. And then if you want to have polling, so if you want to have like pop-up call to actions and polling and things like that, you can do that in there. This is the replay function. If you want to do a paid event, you can do a product name, the description. You would link this to like a PayPal payment processor. And so this is kind of what the link looks like before I really did anything to it. So we would put the price here and we place our payment information and all that on there as well. And then on the integration side, we can do so if you're doing like tracking for email tracking, you're doing Google tracking, Facebook ad tracking, you're doing third-party integrations. We have a lot of third-party integrations. I know Pabbly is a big requested one, so we're actually going to be adding that, and you will find that available in here. And then finally, on the attendees section, you're able to see all of the attendees for all of the webinars. So then you can see who registered, who attended. So like this is a test, but if I were to click on here, it will show me how many minutes did they watch, did they click on a call to action, did they finish the event, did they watch a replay? And I can actually export all of this information, and then you can do whatever you want with that as well. If you have people who are signing up on through a different page and you want to migrate over to this, all you need to do is click on upload bulk registrants. And then when you upload the bulk registrants, it will actually automatically add everyone as a registrant and send them a confirmation email. So you can actually do that if you get them to sign up from somewhere else. So the last thing that I'll cover here is that we also have an affiliate management section. So if you have a lot of affiliates, if you have companies, if you have organizations that are basically going through and promoting your events, what you can do is you can add a custom URL. So if I would just click on generate right here, I can choose an individual webinar, and then this is my affiliate code, and then this is my affiliate URL for this individual webinar. So if I were to go live and if I were to take my link and I was to send it and promote and have someone register, what would happen is in the attendee section, this will actually give you, where did they come from? Did they come from Facebook or Google if you put the source tracking in here? But we also have an affiliate tracking. So each affiliate will be able to see which registrant they were responsible for. And then they can actually have their own portal to see how many, what's their progress been, how many people have actually signed up for their events. This will give you all the other, poll answers and things like that on here as well. So that's kind of the process for managing affiliates on that side. So it covered a lot in a very short period of time. So I'm sure there's a lot of great questions kind of coming through, but I just kind of wanted to go through and highlight some of that. So I will stop sharing my screen and see if anyone has any questions.
Okay. Henry, can we, before we start answering any question, can we talk about this, the meeting?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Let me share my screen really quick. I'll go back and do that. Hold on.
I think you forgot that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a great call. 1 second here. All right. Let me go and register for a meeting. Well, let me do two things. I'll actually register for a webinar, and then I will also register for a meeting, just so you guys can see that. So let me share my screen one more time here. All right, let me go here. Let me edit this event to be in the future. So if I'm going to go here, let's say I want this event to be, let's say in a couple weeks. So I'll save these changes. So now if I were to go through and register, so this is kind of the process, right? So if I were to, go through and sign up, I'll sign up here. After I sign up, it brings me to my thank you page. So this is going to be giving my Business Hangouts URL right here. Then it's going to bring me into my event, and then from there, from there it'll have like the countdown timer on that side. If I'm going to do like a meeting, so if I go back to all events, so you'll see in all events you have the option to do live events, automated events, meetings, and then actually get a real-time calendar of when your next events are. So you can actually click on those and then automatically edit them. So that's kind of a cool little feature on that side. But if I go back here and I want to go to meetings, let's say I click on here and I want to start my meeting. So this will bring me into the meeting room. I can enable camera. I can join to camera or audio only. Once I do that, then it will verify that my audio works, my camera is working. I'll join the room. And then when I join the room, now I have the ability to do simultaneous video broadcast and screen share at the same time. I could have them side by side. I could highlight one over another. I can do the gallery view. And the participant side, you've got chat. You can see the participants, your polls, and offer. So if I wanted to do like a poll in here, I can say, what's your, favorite color? I can spell. Right. So what's your favorite color? We can say it's red, or we can say it's blue, right? So then once I click on share poll, that's going to pop up, show me the percentage of people that responded red, the percentage of people that responded blue. If I wanted to do a pop-up call to action, and when you do like these polls, what's really cool is that as you're doing events, it will give you an insight in real time, right? So it'll actually tell you what people are interested in, what they want, right? And so then you can actually get more engagement out of them that way. In the chat or in the tools, you can do like a share offer, right? So if I wanted to do, AppSumo offer, right? And then, if I did appsumo.com, click here today, right? So then if I click share, now everyone's going to have this pop-up call to action here where they can click and then buy. Now, normally on all the other platforms, if you click here, it will bring you to a separate link. What we're working on right now is when people click here, it's going to actually have the credit card option where you can actually collect payment directly in the room. So that is something really cool that we're definitely focusing on right now, which we're excited for. And then if I wanted to go through and like share a video, I can upload a video, and then it will actually run that video in here and bring it in front and center. And then if I wanted to do like a share via Rdmp, if I want to do a Facebook Live, YouTube Live, if I want, I think TikTok Live, if I want to do LinkedIn Live. So you can do all of that directly in here, or you can just do the process where you continue with Facebook on this side. But normally recommend Rdmp. It gives you more capability and flexibility on that side. And so that's kind of like a lot of the breakdown of what we're able to do as far as the actual capabilities in the room. If you want to end the event for everyone, you just click on leave meeting, and then it will end the event for everyone right there. So thank you for bringing that up. It's a lot of important things there.
Yeah, I have a few questions.
Yeah.
Again, this has been talked about, in various groups as well as in AppSumo itself. About the meeting resolution, the video resolution, 480 versus 720 or maybe 1080. So can you just explain a little bit here once and for all? Since the audience are live here.
Sure,
they are actually interested to know. No?
Yeah. So when so first of all, the really important thing to understand when you're doing like a lifetime deal, right, is that if video conferencing software and other software that you're going to buy for a lifetime, there's a cost structure for us that we have to be very careful of. And so when you're talking about like a CRM system or an affiliate tracking system or an e-commerce system, every time someone goes live, every time someone hosts a meeting, every time someone hosts a live webinar, we are getting charged no matter how often or little you're using it, right? So we have a lifetime cost that we have, right? And so what we have to do is be really careful on managing that, because what happens a lot of the time is that people, when you're doing a lifetime deal, which I'm sure you're very familiar with, people will promise the world, right? They'll try to sell as much as possible, and then they'll have to actually go back on the offer and on the deal because their cost structure was just insane. And so what I wanted to do was actually be sure that we can actually provide video streaming that supports, you know, high enough quality where it actually won't disturb the video broadcast. So like, for example, right now, if you were to go into Zoom, for example, and I've done a lot of research. I went to the back end of their platform. You know, I looked at the difference between HD and SD and how they actually break that down. So if you actually look at their default video broadcast resolution, it's a 320p. So what happens is the video that you see in front of your screen and what people are seeing on the other side of the screen, it's very different, right? Because people are like, well, I need a 720 resolution for this to work. Well, they're seeing themselves maybe in 720, but their video is actually only being displayed in 320. So when we're adding 420 display, that is what it's going to look like for everyone there. And what happens is, if you have a 720 video broadcast and you have someone who has poor internet, they're on a mobile device, it will cause a blackout. You won't be able to see the screen. People are going to say the software doesn't work, it doesn't make sense, whatever the excuses, right? So what we're trying to do is improve the user experience as much as possible so everyone can actually see your video. We're not adding a way to display 720 because that would double our costs and probably put us out of business, right? So we want to be very careful on that side. And then, you know, what we might be able to do, right, is that like the camera and the video broadcast that you're seeing on your screen, what Zoom is doing is they're improving that resolution, and then when you display it out, it doesn't show up like that. That's why they have all those really, really little boxes on the very top to help fight the costs on that. So we're kind of saying, you know, everyone deserves an equal amount of space on the screen. You know, all people are created equal. So that's why we wanted to kind of have everyone give the same foundation on the screen. So that's some backstory of why we wanted to structure it that way.
I see. Okay. One more question about this resolution. So you explained that, for LTD buyer, what happens if, let's say, if a MRR buyer, a monthly buyer, so would they get higher resolution than the LTD buyer?
Normally, no. Unless people specifically request it. Like, the technology can theoretically go up to 4K, right? But the problem is when you're doing 4K, we have to charge a lot of money, like a lot of money. You know, like 5 figures sometimes for people to do a few hour event. And so there's a lot of streaming on that side, but normally like what you guys are seeing and what our normal MRR buyers are seeing is usually that same video resolution. And again, it's for the same reason. If you increase the resolution and everyone has an increased resolution on their side, then it's a higher chance to cause blackouts and things like that.
Okay, now I understand. Okay, maybe we should go to some of the questions that have been asked?
Sure, absolutely. Love questions.
Yeah. I will just project up, whatever question that is relevant. Okay. Can you see the question?
So yeah. So if you were a previous LTD buyer of Jet Webinar, all of the updates that Jet Webinar gets, Business Hangout gets, all the updates that Business Hangouts gets, Jet Webinar gets. Those two companies are both run by the same development team, so we're continuously developing on that side. The difference is for us on a marketing side is that Jet Webinar focuses on more medium level to enterprise clients. So, we have, Fortune 50 clients, we have Inc. 5000 clients for Jet Webinar, and Business Hangouts really focuses on, Business Hangouts really focuses on like solopreneur, small businesses and agencies, and things like that. So I saw a couple other questions. Okay, you want me to answer this one? For Business Hangouts not being present on platforms. Okay, yeah. So what happened is after we acquired Business Hangouts at the end of 2020, after we acquired them, we were having some issues getting transferred over from the social account. So we actually had to, I don't know if a lot of you have noticed, but Business Hangouts has been in business, I believe, since 2016, if not a little bit longer, maybe 2015. And what happened was after we acquired them, what the people that we acquired them from didn't have access to all of the social accounts. So we had to go through and actually recreate a bunch of them. Now, the problem is that we wanted to take all of the bandwidth and all of the resources that we had and just heavily invest in the product. So now that we have a really solid, a really amazing product, now we're able to go and take that and go market and go much harder and invest a lot heavier on the marketing side, because we didn't want it. We didn't feel like it would help us or the customer by over promoting a product that wasn't fully developed to its full potential yet. So that was kind of the reasoning behind that. Great questions.
Yeah, the next question is, does Business Hangout support Rdmp?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I don't know if you just saw on the demo when I went into like the meeting or the live webinar room where you can actually do Rdmp streaming. So you got the URL, stream URL and the server URL key. You just kind of plug those in there and then you can do that. So yeah, we absolutely do support Rdmp. We just did a test event 2 days ago.
That will be both in and out, right?
It would be Business Hangout would stream out to the platforms. So if you wanted to go live on YouTube, or if you want to go live on Facebook, you would take the stream key, plug it into Business Hangouts, and then whenever you're going live in your Business Hangouts room, that live broadcast would display out to the social media platforms.
Okay, so you mean that it will be out but not in?
Correct.
What is it so difficult to do it? Maybe like the other competitor, I can't remember his name. I mean, they do a lot of in, I mean, from OBS or that kind of things.
I believe OBS still is out because what they want to do is they have like video overlays, and they want to use the OBS to actually stream out to people, because they don't want people streaming into OBS because no one's watching on the OBS platform, I don't believe. I think they're just OBS is using their overlay to get more exposure on different platforms. So it's a very similar structure.
Okay. No, this is not relevant. Okay. So I think this is simple to answer.
Yep. Same question.
Do you have virtual background?
So I've been getting more requests on that. That's been voted on the roadmap. So we don't yet support that right now. We're definitely looking into it. So please vote for it on our roadmap leaderboard. We do have CNAME available. So if you want to have CNAME available, you can do that, where we have documentation on how to do that for both live, automated, and meetings. And then whenever you're going live in a meeting or in a live webinar, you record that. once that recording is finished, you can do whatever you want with it. You can download it. You can use that recording and turn it into a instant replay, into an automated webinar. And so, yeah, you can do both of those things on that side. And then I guess the difference really quickly between a instant replay and an automated webinar. So an instant replay would really be no different than like a YouTube video, right? You're going on, you click, you pause, you can fast forward, you can collect emails for people to watch it, or you can just give them a link to watch it. The automated webinar is basically it takes everything that we've done successfully with a live webinar and plug it into an automated webinar function. So you can have pop-up call to actions, you can have polling, you can chat with people in real time. And so there's a lot of interactivity. They can't pause that video. And so it treats the experience just like a live webinar with the back and forth communication. So that's the difference between like an automated replay, automated webinar, and an instant replay. Business Hangouts mobile app, anytime in the future plan. So we're going back and forth on our development team right now is working on making our platform more mobile friendly for like iPad and iPhone and Android devices right now. We're trying to see if it makes sense to take the platform and turn it into an application, or if we should continue to improve the mobile experience natively through the browser. So we're going back and forth right now on determining that, but either way, it's going to be a lot more. We're always improving the mobile experience, because I think that's the most important part. So the USP of Business Hangouts really is around helping. It's creating more affordable solutions by consolidating live webinars, automated webinars, and meetings into one solution, and enabling businesses and entrepreneurs to actually grow their business, increase their leads, and sell more using online events. So that's kind of the USP around Business Hangouts. Great questions.
The next question is translation.
Translation. Yeah. So the actual button, I would think you might have to put a special request for on that. But if you wanted to change, the content on your emails, the content on your registration pages, you can absolutely change all of that. The actual buttons and things like that, I would have to go and ask them about. But as far as like the language, again, on emails, registration pages, and all of that, you can change the language on.
Okay, this Anil Agrawal trying to pull your leg,
No, the bottom right of the shared screen. I don't know. I mean, there might have been a. There might have been a switch.
No, you're supposed to do a business hangout. To showcase Business Hangout, but your logo is actually Jet Webinar.
Oh, did it show Jet? Oh, okay. That was probably a tech issue. But yes, again, Jet Webinar acquired. So at the end of 2020, so Jet Webinar acquired Business Hangouts. We acquired the technology, the team, and the customers, and some of the social media that we were able to get in touch with. So. So when setting up offer to be live, can we do a countdown? So in the live function, we have a option where you can just have like a pop-up where, like, if you're doing like a live webinar, it can pop up, and then we don't have a countdown for the live, but for the automated webinars, you can have, so let's say your event is an hour long and you want to have a pop-up call to action show up for the last 20 minutes. So what you would say is you would time it for the pop-up to show up at minute 40, and then you could have a countdown timer on automated webinars from 40 minutes all the way to 60 minutes. So it would count down, 19 minutes, 18 minutes, 17 minutes. And so you can actually have the timer available in the automated section on that side. And can
The
you
second question
set a
is
fake
fake
live session?
live
No,
sales.
we don't like. No, we don't do that because we don't want to just kind of create a false environment that doesn't really flow with our
I think
brand.
this is maybe for some new company, they want to.
I'm sure. Yeah,
I mean, that's the way.
that's the way it goes. These are all really good. I do appreciate all these because it actually helps us get, it actually kind of helps with this, answer a lot of the questions because we've been getting a lot of messages on our side, and it's good to get these questions asked because then we can put it on other platforms and highlight some of them on our website as well. So, can I post purchase proof pop up during the webinar? No, I don't think we have that right now. I know there's like widgets that actually have that where you probably could embed that onto our system. So, but no, we don't currently offer that. It's a good recommendation. That would be interesting. And then the other thing when it comes to doing like live events or recorded events is that if you wanted to like embed a registration page, if you wanted to embed your live webinar room, you can actually embed a registration page on your website. If you wanted to embed like or place like an iframe of the video broadcast that's being hosted on Business Hangouts to be present on your website, you can actually embed an iframe as well. So you can place both the webinar registration page and the live event on your on your website. So how do you compare this with Webinar Jam? Well, normally if you are a Webinar Jam customer, you also need to buy EverWebinar. So Webinar Jam, I believe, does only live webinars, and then they are I believe Webinar Jam also owns EverWebinar. So you would have to, if you're going to buy Webinar Jam, they sell that and EverWebinar in a package to do live and automated webinars. And they also have a lot of their branding to promote their business to your customers. And so this Business Hangout solution gives you live webinars, automated webinars, plus meetings, plus the ability to have your own custom brand, custom URL, remove our logo and add your logo in there on that side. And then I also believe they don't have an affiliate management portal where you can actually manage hundreds of affiliates at a time promoting each individual event and have them get the data around or help you get the data around which affiliate is the top performing on that side.
Okay.
Good questions.
Let's answer this question. Limits is very low for evergreen webinar.
Our top tier evergreen webinar allows you to have up to 20 automated webinars. And it starts from 1, it goes all the way to 20. And so even if you have 2 or 3 automated webinars in your program or in your plan, that means that you can have that one video. So each evergreen webinar is really considered one video, and then you can run that 1,000 times in a day if you want. You can run it 100 times in a day. You can run it 10 times in a day. You can run that presentation as many times as you want, and there's no limit. I mean, and those people can really just and can watch, interact, and chat with you as much as you want on that side. If you want to scale all the way up to, I think, our top tier, which is 20, you can have 20 individual webinars running all at the same time, and they could be all running 1,000 times a day if you want. So on that side, I think it's actually pretty generous on the automated webinar capabilities for especially what we have customers paying us for to have that capability. How many meeting rooms can be created? Could you customize a meeting room link for different meetings? Yeah, absolutely. So it's based on the tiers that you have. So, if you have like a tier, I think like tier 3, for example, that means you could have either 3 meetings running at the same time or 1 meeting and 2 live webinars run at the same time. So you can actually, you can go back and forth on that. But if depending on the tier of, depending on your plan that you have, you could have, I think, up to I think it's like up to 5 different meeting rooms. It could be a little bit more. I have to go back and check. And then all of those links can be customized based on the goals of those. Then once people join it, if you don't want them there, you have the ability to kick them out of the room as well. So if we want more attendee space and webinars or more available add-ons price. So the top tier that we have, if you go to the AppSumo page, I think it's a little confusing. It shows top tier, it shows tier 1, 2, and 3. And then if on the very bottom of tier 3, if you click on it, there's actually tier 4 and tier 5. So if you click on tier 5, that will actually give you the ability to host all the way up to 500 people on any event. So every time you host an event, you could have up to 500 people on that. So I think that's a fantastic deal on that side.
Agency plan.
Agency plan. So I'm not exactly sure if they're just trying to have a main domain and then sell domains to other clients or something like that, or if they just want to have one account to go manage a bunch of other people's accounts. That would probably just require multiple licenses, I think, because what we're doing is we're restricting or it's not really restricting, but each account has its own domain. So you would probably need to have if you wanted to purchase 20 separate licenses or something like that, we can probably create like a master login and then have subdomains for that. Couple options on that side. No visible stream limitations come to multiple streaming platforms at the same time. Yeah, so what I've tried to do is I try to like yesterday I was trying to do a YouTube live, a Amazon live, and a couple other platforms at the same time. And so what happens is that the Rdmp stream, from what I've seen, it allows us to do a couple platforms at the same time. And I think it's really limited on the actual social platform itself. So some, I don't know how, but some social media platforms will actually pick up that stream is being shared, and then they will restrict that. So I think it's really limited to the social platforms. I've been playing around with this extensively, and so I'm trying to get a clear answer on which platforms allow you to do what. So that's kind of where I'm at on that side. But as far as our platform restricting a certain amount of streams, I don't think that is part of the problem. So we can remove complete branding for attendees. Yeah. So if someone, for example, the branding that people are going to see is they're going to see your registration page. They're going to see your thank you page. They're going to see your webinar room, right? And the countdown timer. So if you wanted to add a custom URL for your registration page, you can do that. After they register, then you can send emails to look like it's coming directly from you. So there's the branding on that side. And then in the actual event room itself, it would say Business Hangouts in the top left-hand corner. You can go and you can actually swap that logo out with your own logo.
Okay. I think we have answered most of the question, except those simple question that is already answered. So
Okay.
guys, if you have any other question, please answer that, before we actually start doing the giveaways.
Yeah, absolutely. Is it okay if I mention my Facebook group in here, or just for people?
No problem.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I have for all the people who are Business Hangouts users or they're considering it, we actually have a group. It's called Business Hangouts. I think it's a Business Hangouts private group. So if you look that up on the groups, I can share a link for those people who are interested. And let me see if I could just kind of pull that up. I can throw it in the comments real quick. And then, anytime, it's not a technical support channel, but it is a group to help people, help each other grow, help give you more insights on getting more people to attend your events. You just added it there. Yeah, thank you. So you can get more people to actually go through, we have content around helping people attend your events, setting up the good presentations, having more people actually purchase from you after the event is over, and some other really cool strategies around that. So
yeah, I posted that in the Facebook
cool.
group. I mean,
Yeah,
your Facebook group in the comments.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
I don't understand this question.
Yeah, so I believe so. I think that what he's asking is that so our Rdmp capability allows us to stream out to multiple platforms, but that depends on the social platforms that allows them to stream or not. I think the answer is yes. Again, I have to, don't quote me yet. I'm going through and I've been doing extensive testing, because what I'm trying to do is actually combine a way to have to actually stream onto multiple platforms, and also when you post an event, have it show up on multiple directories to give you more exposure. So I'm working on a couple ways on that. I'm covering that in the Facebook group as well on my journey on that. So showing you on that. So can you embed streams? If you need to embed if you want to embed if you want to take like, if you're doing like a live webinar, or if you're doing something like a live webinar, well, we have the ability to take what you call an iframe. So you can take that iframe and you can place it on a different like website, and you can do that. So that should not be a problem.
Okay, I guess we have answered all the questions. So if there's none, then before we actually signing off, we actually should do the giveaway. There are two prizes to be won today. One is one code for LTD, I mean tier 1, and the other code is tier 2. So there will be two codes. Are you guys ready? So today we are going to ask questions rather than using the wheels of names, So wheels of names are very random, and some people are telling me that no, it's not fair. Every time, I have running out of luck, I never win any prize. Even though I attend full session, a lot of session, that kind of thing. So today we'll do this asking a question. So get ready. We will ask two questions, and whoever can answer it first, please type it in the comment, and we will pick the right. The winner who has actually answered it correctly. Okay, so Henry, are you ready to ask your first question?
Am I ready to ask my first question? Yeah, let me think of a complicated one here.
You speak slowly because sometimes people will not hear you.
Okay. Yeah. So if you are hosting here, let me ask this question. When hosting a live webinar and an automated webinar, other than the live stream, what is the difference between, as far as a feature goes, what is the difference between a live webinar and an automated webinar, other than the live stream itself? Does that make sense? It's a complicated one, but I want to see if anyone gets it.
That's quite complicated. I mean,
not the chat, not the storage.
Oh, somebody answered video storage.
Nope, not live. It's not live chat, and it's not storage.
Countdown timer.
Yep, it's a countdown timer. That's very good.
So the answer is countdown timer.
Yep.
Okay, so the winner is Cleven Cho. Cleven Cho, you are the the first winner for this LTD code. So you got a tier 1. Congratulations, Cleven Cho.
That was pretty good.
That means they're paying attention,
Yeah, exactly. That was why I did it. That's why I did that one. Okay, let me think of a different one here. When, well, some of it I didn't, I'm trying to say, some of it I didn't cover, but some of it I did want to cover. When you are creating when you're creating an affiliate link for a webinar, how are you? Well, let me rephrase the question. When you're using the affiliate management system, how many changes and you're having okay, ask them one more time. You have an affiliate management system, and you have someone driving traffic to your event. How are you able to actually see which affiliate is responsible for having which registrant attend? So how are you able to go through and track that?
Looks difficult.
I was going to ask another difficult one, but I figured I'd start with that one. But I like this one.
Oh, hold on. There are many answers coming. Affiliate unique link, referral ID, customized link.
So the one that I saw here. Yeah, so the one I saw here was the first one was answered a minute ago so it was in the attendee analytics, correct? So
attendee analytics. Okay, that's the right answer, right?
Right. So when you log into the attendee analytics, you can actually see which affiliate is responsible for which registrant. So that is correct.
Actually, the answer is quite simple. Only thing that it's quite. I would say people go a lot deeper.
It can, but I
didn't. Okay. Yeah, I mean the person who won this prize will be Amandip Sony.
Yep.
Congratulations. You are a dietitian, huh? Dietitian Amandip Sony. Congratulations. Okay, so tier 2 LTD prize goes to Amandip Singh.
So if both of you can do me a favor, because I'm going to lose track of it. So the two people who won, if you can please send a support email to support@business-hangouts.com and just say, I am claiming my free license and then just post the group name in here and just say tier 1 or tier 2.
Yeah, don't worry. I will make an announcement to tell them what to do. That will be more proper so that everybody knows what to do. Okay, guys. Thank you, everyone, for attending. And before we sign off, I would like to say a big thank you to Henry for coming on board to talk with us and then to explain some of the confusion as well as concern about this business hangout. I know that there are a lot of talks outside the group or maybe in other groups as well in AppSumo, that kind of thing. So I think Henry has been in this business for 6 years, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 6 years. So I think he will continue, So I mean, I would like to say that because a lot of LTD founders just dumb, after 1 year or 2 years, that kind of thing. So they burn and churn, So and Business Hangout and Jet Webinar has been around for so many years. So I hope that if you find that this what they call webinar platform is suitable for you, go ahead and buy it. And I think this is the only webinar platform that is on LTD. The rest are actually it's over like live webinar, that kind of software. So okay. Henry, do you have anything to say before we say goodbye to these guys?
Well, no, I wanted to thank you. I know you've been a very early supporter of us 4 years ago, so I again wanted to thank you again. And we have like Albert said, we've been around for 6 years. We're not going anywhere, and we're continuing to innovate. We're continuing to grow, and we continue to use really your insights and your feedback to help improve the not only the software but the company, for us to get great clients, like Amazon and Toshiba and things like that. And we're very grateful for that, because all that foundation came from this community. So that's been very helpful. And we're want to continue the success of this to grow the company, and continue to raise more money and add more people to the team. And so all the support that we're able to get from you guys, all the reviews that we're able to get that are hopefully optimistic, is all adding to the support of what we're doing. So again, thank you very much for everyone who's participated, for everyone who's going to be buying the Business Hangouts deal, and congratulations to the two LTD winners.
Okay, so thank you again. And for those who have not won this LTD giveaway, don't worry, you still have 2 more prizes to be won in the Facebook comment post. Please go ahead and go there and do the necessary things, and hopefully you will win.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's all, guy. Thank you,
Bye.
Henry.
Thank you.